from the students of Airwaves Media, bringing you news in and around Alma High School. You're watching the Airedale.
Welcome to the Airedale. I'm Michael Farrell.
And I'm Ben Mitchell.
And today we'll be talking about tax day, severe weather season, Model UN, plus much more coming up on
the Airedale.
Tax season is coming to a close, with the final tax day being April 18th. Evan Sanderson asked around with adults in the school and got an insight into the process of filing taxes.
It's the month of March and
Tax day comes every April 15th. Tax day is the deadline to make sure people have filed their taxes by the end of the day on that day.
I feel like I have had to learn how to do taxes several times in my life. Probably the first time was just coming out of high school because I had a job, and learning how to now file my taxes as someone who's single and young. Going to college played a role on that, and I was still living with my parents, and so I was a dependent of theirs, and so but things that I was doing was affecting how they filed their taxes, and so that was probably whenever I first realized, like, oh, this is like a serious thing. It involves my parents' money, and then after I got married and I was still in college, and then learning how to file taxes with me and my husband and how to do that effectively, and how to do that to where we could get more money back.
Mrs. Dickens said there should be a course taught in high school that teaches sophomores and up about how to file taxes, because that's when they start getting jobs. That's when they learn that there's going to start being taxes that are pulled out of their paycheck, and later in life, when they have kids, learn how to take that role in taxes.
And then after we had kids, we kind of had to learn how to refile again, because all of that stuff affects how you file your taxes, what to do, what forms to fill out, those kind of things. My husband was in his own business for a little bit, and so that we had to kind of relearn how to do that again and file it differently again. So we've had to learn how to do taxes several times as an adult.
Mrs. Wilson said that her favorite part of tax day is when she gets her tax return back.
All those taxes that you paid, all the effort that you put out, it comes back around. It's like what goes around comes around. So.
Mrs. Wilson said that she learned how to file her taxes when she was 18 and thinks you should learn how to file your taxes when you get a job. I'm Evan Sanderson for Airwaves Media.
Spring break is coming up fast, but what are our students here at Alma doing over spring break? Gemini Shong asked around to find out.
It's the month of March and spring break is around the corner. So what are people's plans during spring break? Like maybe going out to fish at the Alma Lake or going to see the fauna at downtown Alma. I went around and asked people what their plans were during their spring break.
So I'm going with the school to Italy for 10 days over spring break. We get to visit places like Rome, we get to go to Sicily, and we get to go visit like the Sorrento region in Pompeii. So I'll get to explore the Colosseum and all the Roman catacombs and all that.
For spring break, my 3 friends and me are rented a cabin in Decatur, Arkansas, and we are going to spend 5 days there.
Catch up on some sleep, mostly. Get some work done that I need to get caught up on, and practice a little bit, like I always do, and just work, make some money.
For spring break, I'm probably going to spend some time working on a garden, using some skills I learned in class because it's so fun, and I want to just be able to go outside and have my own food.
Over spring break, I am definitely catching up on some well-needed sleep, and I'm celebrating my 17th birthday, which is always fun, especially being away from school. And then probably going to rearrange my room, to be honest.
For spring break, I'm going to visit Arizona, Utah, and Las Vegas. I'm going to see the Grand Canyon and in general visit like the city of Las Vegas.
So as spring is arriving, make sure you get lots of sun and much quality time with those loved ones. Have fun, and I hope you all have a wonderful spring break. This is Gemini Shong from Airways Media.
Severe weather season is approaching here in Alma. Just like every year around this time, the weather starts to pick up and severe events like tornadoes occur. Hunter Brewer and Hunter Cole spoke with Chief Meteorologist Darby Bybee about the upcoming severe weather season.
It's almost spring, which means, of course, severe weather. When severe weather comes, you need to know what to do. We spoke to Darby Bybee, Chief Meteorologist of 4029 News, for some information about these storms.
We and all the other TV outlets and the National Weather Service, we do everything we can to alert people, days in advance of severe weather. Sometimes it can kind of crop up a little bit unexpectedly, but usually we know, almost always, we know if there's a chance or not.
Severe weather is defined as a storm with 50-mile-per-hour winds or higher, hail of 1 inch or larger, or obviously a tornado. There are multiple types of severe weather, such as severe thunderstorms, tornadoes, flash flooding, lightning, and more.
And once the warnings start getting issued, having the TV turned on, just following somebody and making sure that you've got a way to get those alerts, and then taking action when we're telling you need to take action. Everyone needs to have a safe spot at home.
When there's large hail or high winds, do not park under overpasses. Too many people under one could cause large pileups.
One of the things that we see a lot that is just a terrible idea is, when folks are driving and there's hail in the area, and the first response you see from a lot of people on the interstates is they find the first overpass they can and they pull under the overpass, and that has caused a lot of accidents.
This is Hunter Cole and Hunter Brewer with Airwaves Media.
Kindness is a concept in Alma High School we push and strive for in the students and staff. Sarah Nutt looked deeper into the kindness in school.
Being a high schooler can be quite stressful. Lots of schoolwork, trying to figure out your future, and for some, difficulty with other students. Pressure from other students can make someone's life significantly more difficult, but you can help that. A few students at Alma High speak on the importance of being kind.
You don't know what anybody's going through. Everybody has their own lives. They have their own demons they're fighting, and just giving them a compliment, just a random compliment, it could really make their day.
Because kindness can do wonders to someone. Someone could be going through anything and you have no idea about, and just giving them a compliment or just waving at them, smiling at them can do them a wonder.
If you just don't have anything kind to say or do, just leave it alone.
Being kind doesn't just make the other person happy, it makes you happy too. In a recent study, people were assigned to show kindness to others for 7 days. Results show that those people were happier after the 7 days than before. So the next time you're hanging out with your friends, take kindness into consideration. I'm Sarah Nutt with Airwaves Media.
The members of Theater Troupe 6338 are rehearsing in the Sokos Pack, preparing for their performance of Go Dog Go, a beloved children's book by P.D. Eastman. Aiden Mills and Declan Saunders popped into the pack to see their progress.
Theater is to help young people to develop a strong sense of self and identity, build empathy and learning among peers, and broaden the ways they make meaning of the world around them.
Next play that our theater department will be putting on is Go Dog Go. This is a children's story, or based upon a children's book of the same title, Go Dog Go by P.D. Eastman. And this is something that we will be performing for the lower grades, so primary, intermediate schools, and then community elementary schools as well.
They help to break down stereotypes, generate empathy, stimulate cooperation, reasoning, and the ability to be critical.
Depending on what show we're doing, for instance, our musical that we put on in the fall, we actually start in the summer. So sometime in August we start, and then we perform at the beginning of December. So we actually have, quite a few months to prepare for that big show. But most directors will want to spend, anywhere from 4 to 5, even 6 weeks to prepare a show, and that's kind of where we are with Go Dog Go.
The most important part of theater is the plot. A plot can serve a theme and will influence the growth or decline of the characters. Aristotle, the creator of theater, identified plot and characters as the two most important elements of drama. This has been Aiden Mills and Declan Saunders with Airwaves Media.
Lake Alma is a great place to do many things, including picnics, hiking, trails, fishing, and much more. But why should you consider going to our Alma Lake? Abigail Spencer and Peyton Phillips provide insight on Lake Alma.
When spring comes around, that means summer is coming up, which means going outside and enjoying the sunshine. Lake Alma is the perfect place to hang out with family and friends. You can fish, play a game of 18-hole disc golf, enjoy a nice picnic, or experience the natural beauty of Alma on the trails. There are also concrete trails for those who are physically disabled that are ADA friendly. There are many things you can do along this trail, which is about 4.4 miles long. It has many sightseeing locations, including multiple waterfalls, different kinds of animals and foliage, and much, much more. This trail is amazing for people who love to hike. This trail is also a place where you can go and hang out with friends. It's also a great place to get photos and genuinely get some family time. So, if you want something to do this summer, go to the Alma Lake. This has been Peyton C. Phillips from the Airedale.
Our Model United Nations Club recently attended the Model Arab League Conference at the University of Central Arkansas, where they represented the African nation of Djibouti. Stetson Goodson asked the members to get a good idea of what Model UN is really about.
Model UN is a club that focuses on giving students the political and decision-making experience, and the club sponsor, Ms. Hull, says Model UN challenges students to reflect on important issues, understand the inner workings of the UN, and develop their research, writing, and public speaking and negotiating skills. Delegates from Alma attend annual conferences at UCA, where they learn about and develop an appreciation of the countries that they represent. But what is Model UN and what do you do?
Is a simulation of the UN General Assembly, where students take on a delegation role to debate, topics like climate action, gender equality, global health, and much more.
You do simulations of different governmental proceedings, like you do a simulation of the United Nations with getting a problem and voting on an issue or on a way to solve this issue.
Model UN went on a trip to Model Arab League on Friday, March 10th. That might be one of the reasons someone might want to join Model UN. But what are some other reasons people might want to join Model UN?
Because I don't think I really understood a lot of the global affairs or politics, and Model UN was a facet for me to really not only learn about it, but engage with these issues.
There are many different cultures around the world, and in Model UN you can discover these cultures.
Learning about new cultures and people is fascinating. Learning about populations that are different from us and how they came about to be that way, and even integrating some of their practices into our own communities.
Model UN has extended its offer to join if you are interested in this topic. This has been Stetson Goodson from Airways Media reporting on Model UN.
Exercise is an essential part of being healthy. The CDC recommends 150 minutes a week at a minimum to maintain a healthy lifestyle, but many people don't do this. Caden Daspit and Braden Peppis present a compelling argument on why you should exercise.
Regular physical activity is a large part of being a healthy person. Being active can improve your brain growth, reduce risk of diseases, improve ability to do everyday activities, and strengthen muscle and bones. The two most common sources of death in the U.S. is heart disease and strokes. Studies from the CDC have shown that if you get at least 150 minutes of moderate exercise a week, you can reduce your chances of these conditions. The school does offer many classes that would meet the requirement. These classes include PE classes, athletic sports, and JROTC. The benefits you get from exercising or any physical activity is far too beneficial for teenagers not to partake in. This has been Braden Peppis and Caden Daspit with Airwaves Media.
Teachers are the backbone of our school, and that comes with getting your teaching license and going to college. But what is the teaching profession really all about? Dane Barker and Levi Stringfellow looked into the profession of teaching.
For certain teachers, they already had their career plans decided from a young age. But for others, becoming a teacher is a decision that came along down the road.
I had a teacher who was sick or wasn't here for a week or so. And so what she did is she actually put us in charge of part of a unit, and we had to make the work for it. We had to teach it and make the assessment for it. And when I did that, I found that it was a really good experience and I really liked it. And then I ended up in Miss Rhodes's class in chemistry, and with her, everything really came to life, and I was like, I could be a teacher.
In order for teachers to connect with their students, it's important to build valuable relationships with one another.
One thing you got to realize as a teacher is that you're not here for you, you're here for the kids, and that sometimes you may be the person in their life that they need to be around or talk to or see on a daily basis just to keep everything regular. So teaching in itself is actually a pretty rewarding and great job, I think.
There's some positives in teaching. However, with positives, there are also negatives.
Some of the negatives, kids that don't want to listen, kids that don't want to do work. It's not that they're negative, it's just it can become a negative experience. So you just got to find what motivates them, what works, what doesn't work. That's the biggest hurdle though, is how do I reach a kid or reach a student that doesn't care about biology or doesn't care about physical science, and then how do I keep them engaged after that? That's the hardest part.
This has been Dane and Levi with Airwaves Media.
Our NJROTC program has regularly been going to drone meets and winning awards at every competition they've gone to. Joseph Lynn and Cole Howard took a look at our NJROTC drone program.
NJROTC offers students at AHS to learn about drone technology. Learning how to navigate the drone to avoid obstacles while keeping the drone stable is the key to successful flight. Each year, NJROTC participates in a drone program against other schools from around the state. This allows students to showcase their skills while flying drones.
The ROTC drone program came from some STEM money that Congress put into the Navy JROTC budget last year. They gave us a little over $1 million, not us, Alma, but us Navy JROTC, about $1 million, and that was earmarked specifically for STEM. And as instructors, we got a say into what we did, and we thought drones was relevant and economical, so that's what we brought into the program.
There are multiple ways that the drone program can help NJROTC students. The drone program allows students to learn the rules and regulations of flying drones in order to get their drone license. A drone license will allow students to legally get shots and angles of photography they are normally not be able to achieve due to restrictions in air traffic.
The drone program benefits students with teamwork, leadership, communication skills, hand-eye coordination. They're learning to talk to one another. As you're flying, you have spotters, you have visual observers that are watching them, so you're constantly getting that audio feedback as well as the visual feedback that you get with your own eyes, having to make corrections and that type of stuff.
This is Cole Howard from Airwaves Media.
Baseball season is upon us here at Alma, and the team is going good. But what preparations have they been doing for this season? Ben Mitchell answers these questions while looking into the team.
Baseball season's just started, and the team is taking it in stride. The first game of the season was actually just over a week ago. Coach Fry is the head baseball coach here in the Alma School District, and the season's going strong so far.
Season's starting off well. Right now, we start off Friday against Fayetteville. They ended up beating us 9-0, but we held them, scoreless until the 5th. So, opening day, we had a good feeling about that. Then we played a 9-inning game against Prairie Grove, Pea Ridge, last night. Lost it in the bottom of the 9th. So far out of 2 games, we've seen some really good things. Pitching's been good. Offensively, been doing some great things. And so tomorrow we leave for Texas to play a 5-game tournament in Justin, Texas, by the Speedway. And so we're really looking forward to that. Always great teams. They kind of expose every weakness you have. And so once we come back from Texas, start off conference play with Harrison at home, and hopefully we have all those bugs worked out by then.
Our Alma baseball team works hard constantly to be the best they can at what they do.
It starts in the fall. I think all of our guys are in skills class or lifting weights, and it starts there. We've seen a tremendous, gain in weightlifting, and so, the guys are stronger. And the off season where it all begins, that's where baseball players are made. And so now once we get into the spring, it's just repetitions. And so everything we do in the fall, carries over to the spring.
This has been Benny J. Mitchell with Airwaves Media. Softball season has started back up as well, but what has the team been doing to prepare for the season? Jace Coleman looked into the softball team.
The softball team is ready for the 2023 and 2024 season, but what are they doing to prepare for the season, and how do they feel about it? What are the pitchers, batters, and catchers, and anybody else on the team doing to prepare for this season and their next game?
For the kids, it's been in off season since October, or I guess November, and you can see that they're doing fielding, pitching, hitting, doing all kinds of stuff to get ready for the season. The bad thing about it is it's rained a whole lot for us, and so we've had to do a lot of stuff inside. But we just started our season last week. Played Hackett, happened to get beat by Hackett, and then played last night against Huntsville. Ended up beating Huntsville last night.
30-plus years experience, their head coach is sure to be able to train them or help them out with anything they need. However, injuries are a cruel thing and almost strike anyone, anywhere, anytime. And these injuries that can come in softball range from a sprained ankle to a broken leg.
Not very often, but we have already been plagued with some of the injuries already, but not from softball itself. It's come from other sports before they come to softball. So hopefully we'll stay healthy for the rest of this season and we won't have any injuries. They can twist an ankle, they could blow out a knee, sliding in a base, they could get hit by a pitch, you know, a ball can hit them. So there's different things, but for the most part it's not that compact sport.
I'm Jace Coleman for Airwaves Media.
Thanks for watching this episode of the Airedale. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow all of our social medias at Airwaves Media. And as always, go Airedales!